Wondering how to turn one listing into multiple listings going forward? I'm with my friend Julie Colin. We're going to talk about her process, step by step, that you can apply in your business that'll absolutely get you more business. All right, Julie, this is something I'm excited for people to learn about. We are coming off being at the Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Rethink Council, and one of the biggest hits was everybody was sharing what they're doing in their business is your process that once you take a listing and what you're doing, not only to add value to those sellers and help them get it sold faster, but also to leverage that as a marketing tool for you and your business. So one of the things that was most impressive to me is it even starts before the listing appointment. You want to get us started on kind of this process, and we're going to go through step by step exactly what you can do and what you guys can do to really put this in your business, and I know it's going to help you get more listings. So
sure.
Let's start with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first thing where it starts is actually going on the listing appointment. The simplest thing is to do a Instagram reel. Use the green screen, screenshot of the map, and then you could just be pointing to it. Hey, I have a listing coming up here in this area. I can't really talk about it, but if you're interested or know anybody who's interested in the area, shoot me a DM and let's get that started.
Yeah, it's great. And basically with the map you're talking about, that's just like an aerial map of an area, just being broad, and this kind of does that. You're in St. Louis, so obviously this is something a lot of people may recognize or say a neighborhood or something in an area. It's a great way. Have you seen some of those where you'll get some DMs that way, or you're finding
Absolutely, especially like if it's a hot neighborhood, if it's on acreage, something special. And I try to say that whatever that special feature is, to where hopefully I get more DMs on it.
All right, so you've got the listing now. What is the first step that you take as far as in this process?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to choose, typically it's about 50 surrounding neighbors, and I'm really focusing on marketing to them. My goal with this is not only market the listing, but I'm looking for my next seller. So I'm going to walk the neighborhood. I'm going to put up door hangers, invite them to a nosy neighbor open house. Let them know we have a listing coming. They're going to see more people interaction at that home. I'm going to circle dial all of those people. Hey, you have a chance to pick your neighbor. I have a new listing that's in the area. And I also ask for permission. Once I sell this home, I'm going to call you back and let you know how it all went. Is that okay? Great. Perfect.
Yeah. Nothing about them selling their house at this point. This is just letting them know, building some rapport, starting to do those things.
At this point, I'm trying to say, this is who I am. These are the things I'm doing for your neighbor. Keep an eye out for us.
Yeah, everybody's pretty basic with this stuff too. I mean, a lot of people do it differently. How do you get phone numbers? How do you look those phone numbers up?
My best results is truepeoplesearch.com.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. And what does a call like that sound like? I mean, when you're calling them and they pick up the phone, what does that sound like when you're calling to let them know about this?
Yeah, sure. I try to keep it short and simple. Hey, this is Julie Colin with Berkshire Hathaway. Just listed your neighbor's house. We're having a neighborhood open house. Would love to invite you to it. And plan on me following up with you with the results of when we sell the house.
Yeah, which is literally what they want to know because it affects their value. You mentioned something earlier and just kind of passed by that. Do you actually use the term nosy neighbor when you're talking to them?
100%. They think it's funny. They engage with it. They joke about it. Yeah, I do.
That's great. Yeah. That's good. That's good. All right, so we're getting ready now. We've prepped. We've done the circle dial calling. We've also walked the neighborhood. And very similar, I would think, when you're doing the door knocking. If they come to the door, you're just saying basically the same thing. Hey,
absolutely.
House. Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's the same 50 people that I'm targeting for everything. Yeah.
Okay, great. And do you keep that list of those phone numbers, obviously, so you don't have to look them back up again? And then now you've got that list for the next listing, I guess, as well.
Exactly.
All right, so we've got the open house. I guess what's next after that?
I will, somewhere in between there, I'm also doing 5 real estate reviews. I do the 3 across the street and the 2 surrounding neighbors, and those are more in-depth values of homes that are surrounding that area, deeper conversations with those 5.
All right, so you're mentioning that you're doing those deeper dives for those folks. How are you presenting that? Are you calling them to give them that information? Are you mailing it, or are you just dropping it by? What does that look like?
I drop it by. I knock, ring the doorbell. If nobody answers, I put it on their front porch. It's a huge envelope, and it says neighbors real estate review on it. It's pretty big. You can see it from the street.
All right, this is before the sign is actually up, or is the sign already gone up here on that list?
Sign is typically up at this point.
Okay, great. All right, so we've got the open house. We've also done the circle dialing now. We've done that a little bit deeper dive with the neighbors that are closest by. What comes next as far as, are you doing some just listed cards, or what does that look like?
Yeah, those same 50 people are going to get just listed cards. My just listed cards look a little different to where I obviously feature the home just listed, but on the back side of it, it is my stats. I met with the seller on, let's just say March 1st, I met with them for the pre-listing consultation. Right. And then this is the date my stager went in. This is the date that the videographer, photographer, all that stuff was done. This is when staging was completed. This was house prep time. All the different dates that really show that this isn't done overnight. Right. It's a big process. Right. And at the end, it always says next step is under contract.
See, I think this is so smart because you're not just doing, hey, just listed or another one like every other realtor. You're out there actually showing what you're doing. So you're sharing the process, which is really prepping them to understand professional you are and the person that you will be that agent of choice when they decide to sell. So, okay, so we really were sharing this process pretty in deep there. What about advertising? Are you doing any geographical advertising, digital advertising, or anything along those lines?
Yeah, I use Chalk Digital, and I will do a paid targeted ad around that area. It may also, depending on the home, whatever area that I really need to focus, I think the buyer's coming from, I will target those areas.
Yeah, and I know Chalk Digital is a product that we've got obviously with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, but there's a lot of products out there if you're looking for just circling an area and doing some geographical stuff digitally. So, all right, now let's just keep going with this. I don't want to dive too much deep into the marketing, the listing, because this is really the process of generating additional listing. So let's talk about, okay, now it goes under contract and it's actually sold. What happens? Because this is a before the listing, during the listing, and the launch, and then the post-sale to get these other listings.
Yeah,
what
sure.
Does that look like?
So those same 50 people that I've been targeting, they're going to get a just sold postcard. Again, the just sold postcard is now actually going to give the stats of the sale. So it's going to say, this is how many showings we had, this is how many different types of inspections we had, appraisal, anything, communications that were just completed between all parties. My goal with that is to almost overwhelm other people to where they see the value of realtors. Like, I don't want to do this by myself. I want to hire somebody, and obviously Julie can take care of that. So I do that postcard to those same 50 people. And then I do another round of circle dialing where it's, hey, we sold the house. This is what it's sold for. That conversation ends up at the end, I would be doing a disservice as an agent if I didn't ask you if you were interested in selling your home.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's really good. And now, I mean, literally, this is not the first time they've either seen you from the time that you were
this is the 8th
open house. And a lot of times these folks, I mean, if they're really interested, they're going to show up at the open house, or they're going to ask you additional questions. They're going to be paying attention. So it's really almost a prep to that point. So you've got those just sold cards. This is the process too. I thought what was interesting also is you're not just utilizing this as an opportunity there. So when the sale actually happens, there are buyers on the other side. Sometimes it's your buyers, sometimes it's others, and just being of value to them. Are you sending anything to that group? I think something you mentioned was pretty interesting there.
Yeah, so I follow up at the very end of it. We have multiple buyers for this home, obviously, out there. So, hey, it's a very special letter that just says, we have more buyers that are interested in this area. Are you looking to sell?
Right. Yeah, that's great. And as far as like the follow-up after to the buyer on the other side, are you doing anything on that side?
Yeah, buyer on the other side, they have, I do a 3-part postcard program. It starts immediately the day of closing. I send the first postcard that says, hey, I'm Julie Colin. I am the listing agent on this property. If you ever have any questions about the property, please feel free to reach out to me, and I give them my email address. I do the second week, it is a postcard about, don't forget to change your address on all these, different things. I'm Julie Colin. I was a listing agent for this property. Please feel free to reach out with any questions. And then the third program is how to meet new neighbors, stuff like that. I'm Julie Colin. I was the listing agent on this property. And then feel feel free to reach out. After that, they all will continue to get on their year anniversary. I will send them a real estate review, letting them know what the value of their home is. Most agents don't follow up with their clients, so I'm going to take the initiative to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, and I mean, that's one of those where we've seen that where almost 90% of people say they would use their buyer's agent, but then when it actually comes down, it's less than 25% because they just simply don't hear from them.
Absolutely.
So it's a great way to continue to follow up and do those things. One of the things that I think that's really interesting also that you do is that after this process, this has a continuation for years down the road. So how are you keeping up with that year anniversary? Are you putting that in your calendar, or you have something that automatically does something? What does that look like?
No, in our CRM, we're able to tie a transaction to each client that's in there. So I get a notification every day. I get an email of whose birthdays it is and who has their annual anniversaries for their home.
Perfect. Listen, I know you got some value out of this. If you need some help in St. Louis, Missouri, reach out to Julie and let her know. Also, if you'd like some copies of some of these details, we'll have a place down in the notes below, down in the description, where you can go in and just send us your email address and we'll get those over to you. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching the video. I specifically chose the video below for you because it builds on the one you just watched. I hope it's helpful, and I'll talk to you soon.